So, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines, and this week we are going to review round 10. Gentlemen, how are you tonight?
I have internet problems.
I can tell you're ranting and raving about something over
you've got
there.
problems. One of them is the internet.
That's all.
I'm glad you stopped talking about political stuff now. We can start talking about the footy.
Well, no, political stuff's important. Because
It is.
If it wasn't for politics, then we wouldn't have football, and we're going to talk about something very political.
Oh, here we
later.
go.
Okay,
Steve on his high horse.
Hang on.
On his wrong horse. He's on a camel and the rest of us are on a horse.
Let me get on my soapbox.
Not yet.
Steve,
Come on, later.
Have you got some of those little umbrellas? Just it goes with my new birthday
goodness.
outfit. You know, I got for my birthday. Thank you, Zoe.
Thank you, Zoe.
This is Tom's new shirt.
It was too cold to take my other shirt off, so it looks a bit. Anyway,
But
got those umbrellas. Those
But
little umbrellas.
it looks a bit ridiculous. Yeah, that's right.
So, just to let everyone in on the reason for this ugly mug over here, and in the shirt, we just wanted to say yesterday was Tom's birthday. So, in lieu of Tom, or not in lieu
Here we
of,
go.
because of Tom's birthday,
I'm
Because
nervous
of,
now. I'm
yeah.
nervous now.
we're going to have a little birthday cake for Tom.
Oh wow. Don't tell me it's red and green, please.
No,
Oh, that would be perfect.
no, it's not red and green. That would be silly. This is a cheesecake.
Oh,
If I can get it out.
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
you did wash your hands.
it's all over his fingers.
No, I picked my nose before.
Oh, it's an
Look.
umbrella. I know, almost.
No. So we're going to use this one because it's used. I don't want to waste a new one on you.
Yeah, okay, fair
So,
enough.
Waste a new candle. Oh, we've got bucket loads of money here with our sponsorship.
Okay, and now I want to hear them sing it.
You really don't.
no, you really don't. So what I'm going to do is, so this is to celebrate Tom's. Can you see that? Everyone see that? Hang on. Let me
I can
get,
feel it coming. You just wait,
hang
it's
on,
coming.
Let me just get
okay?
this over to
The G
here.
up is coming.
What are you talking? Oh, I better not burn the sign. That would be really embarrassing. So
There you go.
There you go. Hang on, you can't see it. I better move the sign. There you go. How about that? We'll just do that for now.
Right.
So I'll put my sign back later.
Right.
So it's Tom's birthday. Tom, how old were you?
21 again. 63.
And again, and again, and again, and again.
63.
So there you go.
Can't believe it,
We're,
can
we're
you?
not going to sing. So I'm
Nothing
gonna allow,
over 40.
We're going to allow
you
just a
think.
few seconds for you to sing Happy Birthday to Tom. Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to
Hip
me.
hip!
Hooray!
Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hip hip!
Hooray!
Okay, let's, over and
You
done with.
light your candle.
I just,
Don't breathe on it though. Okay, so happy birthday for yesterday.
thank
Tom.
you.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Let's,
That was very kind of you.
let's get
Very
back.
nice. Thank you.
Get back to the real,
Get back
to the real
to
show.
the important things,
Important things, yes. Which is round 10.
which is round 10. All right, so
right.
let's. You got to leave that shirt on. 'Cause
Yes.
It's hurting.
All right,
That's
yeah,
all.
it's a bit
Well,
it's horrible.
even though you were really nice to me, I'm going to leave it on.
All right.
So he throws it back at us.
Zoe, you better be watching this show.
Yeah. Okay,
All right.
Suncorp Stadium on Friday night because it was tragic round this weekend.
Tragic rounds.
And sorry, did I get that wrong?
You did.
What was it supposed to be?
Oh my goodness.
What was it supposed to be compared to what it was?
It was supposed to be magic. Round.
Yeah, well,
And it was
wasn't-
magic. It was
wasn't-
brilliant.
It was not
Yeah.
magic
It was a great
at all.
weekend.
Anyway,
It was
we're
a
gonna-
fantastic
we're gonna talk
weekend.
about- Everybody else is already crying over
No.
magic round.
Are the Tigers fans crying?
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
No. I will guarantee you they are not.
They are crying because they have no idea what's going on. So, Tigers 36, Newcastle 18.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we said last week that what a strange thing for Madge Maguire to do
Yep.
by putting Dewey in centre. That's dumb. He's playing so well.
Yep.
Wow, didn't that backfire?
What a genius.
Well,
What a
not
genius.
only did Adam Dewey have a great game,
Yes.
but so did Moses Mbai, and
Yeah.
so did Luke Brooks.
Yes, they did. I was surprised by how well Mbai played.
Everybody clicked.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they continue to play, mind you, they only beat the Knights, who were pretty average.
Yeah. And no Ponga. Had I known Ponga was out, I would have tipped the Tigers.
So you know what? Hats off to Madge, and put your Adam O'Brien hat on. Oh my goodness!
He's
Well,
struggling. isn't he?
they're already talking Newcastle about another rebuild because
He's got
he's got
nothing.
to do a clean out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
does he really? Like I said, like we went through this. You look at their team and you go, yes, 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 yes. So it's more than the team. There's something.
Yeah.
It's not to do
Well,
with
he
the
said
blokes out on the
himself
field.
that the club last week. He said the club has got used to a roller coaster, and they've lost the ability to be resilient, and he doesn't know how he's going to find it back. So very interesting. And did you hear the other news that Moses Mbai, after a great game of the Tigers, is now looking like he could possibly end up wearing the red V next week?
Yeah, but they're not going to let him.
They're not going to let him go. Madge's already come out and said he's part of the plan for this
Now,
year.
what would have happened if that request had been put to him last week?
or if last week backfired, it'd be Moses, go with our blessing. But look, you know what? They're entitled to do what they want to do, and he's their player for this year, so they can do that.
Look, I hope the Tigers kick on from here because they show some signs
I
of good things. Yeah, I know, but you don't care about any about your team. I think about the competition.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Manly Sea Eagles narrowly beating the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, that's enough, isn't it?
50-6.
That's enough. Let's move on.
Okay, Suncorp Stadium.
Come on, Brian.
No.
You're on the clock. Okay.
No. That's fine. Seagulls have clicked. Josh Schuster.
Hang on. Sea Eagles have clicked or Tommy's clicked? With the Sea Eagles?
No. I think the team's clicked. I think that the thing for me was the Kieran Foran with his broken hand after 15, 16 minutes coming off, and the team pulled together and still had a fantastic win. I need to get a hold of Josh Schuster and say, mate, enough of the no-look passes.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean,
and kicking.
They're coming off. It's looking great, but when they don't come off, he looks like he's a bit of an amateur.
Yeah.
It's just a maturing to his game. He's got to run the ball more. He's a big unit.
Yep.
So and what do you say about the Bronx? Like they were actually doing all right up until this week. Like they'd had 3 or 4 weeks where they were competitive. They were competitive against Penrith, the Cowboys. They'd started to put a couple of wins together, and you can't come out and capitulate like that.
Yeah.
And the try they scored right on half time, where admittedly they should have tackled. Manly should have tackled the player, but he crawled over the try line. It was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, but the score shouldn't. Look, we're going to talk about it later, but just mention the ridiculous decisions that were made in. There are 2 or 3 teams that were put down to 11 this week.
Yep.
Yeah. And some of them, and we'll talk about it later. But Papali's,
let's
2 sin bins on both sides.
Let's save it to the end.
Yeah.
Let's save it to the
but
end.
Manly were never brought down to 11.
Yeah, we were.
Well, they had 2 sin bins each.
Not at the same time.
Yeah.
You won't.
Yeah. It was in the last 2 minutes of the game.
All right, let's go on to Canterbury and Raiders. Raiders just winning 20-18, and honestly, Dogs had this thing wrapped up. Absolutely wrapped up until they lost. Until Canterbury lost the player, and then they seemed to not.
They
know
lost
what to
2.
do.
They scored 3 tries with 11 men.
Ironically, down to 11. But at that point, you could actually see them not know what to do.
Yeah,
They
it was
just
ridiculous.
Lost it.
Yeah. Very disappointing.
I don't know. Like, if you're a Doggies fan out there, you've got to be crying.
Yeah.
Because if you are playing a team of 11, you win. You score 3 or 4 tries. You don't have 3 scored against you and then come out and look directionless.
And where you were saying that Manly went down to 11 with 2 minutes to go, this was, I think,
yeah,
the first half or early in the second half.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Papali's hit, definite send off.
Yeah. Look, in saying that there were 3 send-offs this weekend, and all 3 of them were justified. I think that they were all legitimate, should have been sent off. So
ironically, they wouldn't have been last week. But
no, they would have been.
No, I don't think so. I think they probably would have just been put on report last week.
The one on Toho would have been sent off. Come on, man. The bloke went after the.
I'm not saying they shouldn't have been. I'm saying last week.
I'm saying swinging arm out of the defensive line. Player goes horizontal to the ground because he's been coat hangered. Yeah. That's a send off.
No. So,
all right.
Bulldogs 88% had 88% completion rate.
Yep.
They played well.
And they often do have.
No, they're not playing well.
My point is that they can play well. They just can't score.
Well, they can hold the ball.
They
but
can
can't
hold the
do
ball
anything with it.
Yeah.
That's right.
52% of possession. I mean, this was a game they should have won.
You know, and the thing with the Dogs is, and it's the same with the Tigers, they're having trouble settling their spine. I don't understand the Dogs. Look, they've got Corey Allen in the team.
Yeah.
The bloke played State of Origin last year. He's a fullback. He's played for Australia. He played against Papua New Guinea. Now, admittedly, it was Australia B. Played against Papua New Guinea at fullback. Played in the Queensland State of Origin team.
Yep.
Was dying for a shot at fullback. Trent Barrett gave him one game and then moved him.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they didn't win that game. He's knee-jerking at the moment and he needs to stop.
Yep.
Set his fullback, set his halves,
Yep.
and just leave it. Let them learn the game and each other's game.
Yep. I remember Terry Lamb. Terry Lamb was asked what made him so good. And he said, because when I got to the club, because he's come from West to the Dogs, he said, I didn't play my game. I watched what everyone else was doing and slotted in to make them look good.
Correct.
The Tigers and the Bulldogs are not letting their players settle and watching what else is happening. It's just straight away a knee-jerk reaction from the coach and they're out. I find it very frustrating.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
sorry.
let's talk about very quickly. We'll talk about Canberra.
Yep.
They
They're not going to win many games this year.
Not the way they're going. And I just want to highlight, they had 48% of possession, so almost half. They had an 85% completion rate.
Yep.
They missed 35 tackles, but then so did the Dogs. They made 385 tackles. The Dogs did 400. So they played as well as the Dogs did.
Yep.
If you look at the stats. But they are so much a better team than what the Dogs are.
100%.
Yeah, so it's something happened between their ears.
Yep.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I didn't see all of this game, but I saw the back end of it from the time Papali got taken off. And as soon as that happened, the very next tackle, I think, was a chicken wing by Josh Hodgson.
Yep.
You know, I mean, that's just ill-discipline.
Oh, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's...
Yep.
All right, let's go on to Suncorp Stadium again, ironically, where South Sydney Rabbitohs beat the Sharks 32-22. And I've got to tell you, if it wasn't for that slight love tap that
That's what you're going to call it.
So, by the Sharks half, so they would have beaten them. They would have beaten South.
That was the turning point of the game.
Yes.
For those that didn't watch it, Souths
did not watch it seriously.
Souths are working. Souths are, it's an arm wrestle. It was a really good game.
It was a good game.
Souths are working the ball out from their try line.
Yep.
Chad Townsend comes over the top. Adam Reynolds, even before he's hit the ground, is clutching at his neck. 3 tackles later, the video ref calls it back for a penalty.
Yeah.
And Souths went on from there to win.
Yep.
I got a...
man.
Again,
So who was sin-binned in that game? Because it says that Rabbitohs got sin-binned.
Yeah, Sewer got sin-binned.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Townsend was sin-binned.
Well, if they'd sin bin him for that would have been a tragedy.
No, they did, I think. I'm pretty sure they...
Well, no, not according to this.
So,
Okay.
I mean, but Souths were ahead 20-0.
Yep.
The Sharks were coming back, got back to 20-16. And then after that turning point, South then racked on another 12 points, and Cronulla scored in the last 10 minutes, but last 2 minutes.
And that's the Rabbitohs season's been like that. Is that they've been very indifferent in the middle of the game, but they've turned on the afterburners just for a little while after. It's not a good way to play.
No, but you know what I'm starting to
against good
think?
teams.
Like Souths and other teams, Souths have trouble when they lose momentum. So Souths are a great momentum team. But once the other team gets that momentum, they find it hard to get that back
wrestle
again.
it back.
Whereas Melbourne, Roosters, Penrith, they either don't lose that momentum or they can work out a way to do it. I don't think Souths go to sleep. I actually think they just can't handle the momentum, and something has to change in the game to bring them back into it. And then they can go on from there.
Yep.
So, it's interesting, but
All right.
Suncorp Stadium, where the Sydney Roosters beat North Queensland 30-16.
Did you say Suncorp Stadium, Steve?
Yeah, all right, that was at Suncorp Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they have a lot of games there. A tragic round for Suncorp Stadium.
Yes.
All right, you're on the clock now, Tom.
Oh, well, I mean, they came out firing the Cowboys, but couldn't get over the line for about 4 sets or something. The Roosters went down there. I think the Roosters in the beginning were down in the 23 times and scored 3 times. And looked like they were on fire. And then, Satili Tupanua, it was a dumb but unfortunate incident. Deserved 10 minutes in the bin, and they went on and scored 2 tries after that. And then at halftime they came out with the ball again, and the Cowboys scored again. So all of a sudden it was a very close game. But from then on, I think the Roosters pulled their socks up and took over the dominance of the game. And then look, their defence is 16 points. I'll take that, but. Their defence has been winning them games, and as long as they can stay defending well, I think they're still in the contest.
Yeah.
The second tier teams, but they're still in the contest every game.
Tedesco had a good game.
Oh yeah, fantastic. I mean, the question came up about Tom and Ryan Pappenhausen and things, and Tedesco, he's not a proud man, but he just showed why he's still considered the number 1 fullback. Look, Tommy's fantastic. There's no doubt about that. But because he's got to do so many things at the moment, Tedesco, Tommy's lucky at the moment. He's able to do his job, and the rest of the team work around him. For the last few weeks, I think Tedesco's had to carry the team, and hopefully we're 1-17 this week from last week, so that's the first for almost the whole season. So.
Okay, let's go on to Parramatta Eels 34 beating the Warriors 18.
Always in control, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Nice to see Brad Arthur's son score a try.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It was nice to see a bit of emotion from Brad Arthur because you just don't see it ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good. Yeah, really good. A lot of possession. The Eels.
They're playing well.
They're playing within themselves, aren't they?
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, that's right.
So the Warriors 61% of completion.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say, Nathan Brown, I know you listen to the show because all the coaches do.
Does.
What's he doing with that young Reece Walsh? The guy comes on and looks like the best player on the park.
Yep.
So
is he not match fit?
Well, he came on against Manly and looked like the best player on the park, and the team lost. And then Nathan Brown comes out and says, I was out-coached by Des Hasler. Well, do you not learn your lesson? Because they've come out against Parramatta, and as soon as he's come onto the field, they look a different team.
Yeah.
I don't look, Nathan, just start him in halfback.
And maybe that's what he's trying to do, just work him into the game as opposed to just throwing him in there. But he's good enough that you just throw him in there.
You would.
Just
be
done with it.
Oh, I can honestly say, but there's 3 or 4 young blokes at the moment in these teams, and he would be at the pointy end.
And you know what the worst part about this is? Walker, Walsh, Harry Grant, all Queenslanders.
That's all right.
The future of Queensland.
That's all right. We can beat them.
So Parramatta missed 40 tackles. Warriors only missed 33. 40 tackles by Parramatta. I mean,
just goes to show the Warriors didn't have a lot in attack.
No, exactly.
They're playing within themselves. They've still got a lot to learn, the Eels, but they're putting up the wins, and that's what you've got to do this time of the year.
Okay, so let's go on to Melbourne Storm 44 against St George Illawarra 18.
It was expected.
Yes.
Yeah, they just keep rolling on, don't they?
Sally, you need to start tipping Melbourne.
Because they're not losing, Sally.
No.
Maybe that's a plan. Look, as long as I'm not ticking them, they're winning, so I'm going to keep not picking them.
I mean, Nico Hines. What a great replacement for Pappenhausen. He's not Pappenhausen, but he's got a lot in his game. I tell you what, and the people will be coming calling for him. He's unsigned after the end of this year.
Yep.
And
he's publicly said he wants a starting spot, which he's not going to get at a lot of clubs.
So where would you see him signing? The Dogs?
I would say either.
Don't do it.
No.
But
I would say Sharks or Brisbane. They're the 2 teams that look like they need a half or fullback.
Yeah, he played fullback. I think he's good fullback.
Yeah, but
he's a good ball player.
He lays on a lot of try assists.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that if he was playing, outside of someone like Sean, who's the Warrior? Who's the
Cronulla? No,
Cronulla half.
Chad Townsend.
No, the bloke who's staying.
Moylan?
No, the
Johnson.
guy Johnson, the ex-Warrior guy. Yeah, I'm sure if he was playing outside of him, he'd look $1 million.
Yeah. I mean, they've just got a wealth of talent, haven't they? You know.
So we had another send-off in this game, and we had another team down to 11 at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But mind you,
Well, was the send-off not legit?
No, it was.
Right. Okay.
I'm wondering. When I've seen that tackle, and
Right.
obviously the outcome was pretty bad, but
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether he hit him with his arm, or because it looked to me like he came over his shoulder. Whether he actually hit him with his body rather than his arm, because the result was he hit the ground hard.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that Fui Maono was completely responsible for all of that, to be honest.
No, but
I don't think it looked
guess-
as bad as some of the others.
No, but I guess what he did was he created that situation.
Yeah.
So, no,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
extremely
and-
okay
and-
with
I
that.
don't think it looked anything like Papali's.
No.
And I'll be honest here. I don't know how Maguire wasn't sent off as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, seriousness. In all seriousness, that was shocking, and he should have been off.
Yeah.
What do we say about Penrith 48 beating Gold Coast 12? I mean, Penrith just keep rolling.
We say the Gold Coast were damn lucky to score 12 points.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Penrith were well below their best.
Oh, well below.
Well below their best, and they still scored 48 points.
Okay.
They're just.
Well, they must have been in the 30 points by then. Maybe they're thinking about what's going on at the casino tonight or something like that.
Oh,
You know?
man. Yeah.
Okay, who wants to do the ladder?
Oh, I'll do it. I can do the ladder.
Yep.
Let me do the ladder. Hang on a second. Ladder. All right. So, in first place, with 10 wins from 10 games, we have the Penny Panthers. Second, we have the Parramatta Eels. Third, the Storm. Fourth, the Bunnies. Fifth, the Roosters. Sixth, equal sixth place, we have St George and Manly. As it should be. Well, yeah, technically we're in seventh. We moved up another spot. Eighth, the Raiders. Then Titans, Warriors, Knights, Cowboys. Then we have a gap down to the Tigers, and then the Sharks, and the Broncos, and the poor old Bulldogs with one lone solitary win.
And there are a few people in the tipping competition who got full points this week.
You weren't one of them though, Tom.
No, that's right.
Neither was I.
Because you
Tigers.
picked Brisbane.
I know I picked Brisbane. So Amigo, Panthero, Brighton and Manly are the top threes. Gentlemen, before we end the show tonight, I just want to have a talk about what happened on the weekend.
Yeah.
Um,
Because go.
Well, I'm just saying, there were some that I think were legitimate send-off. I got no problem. Furimayono, Papali, that's fine. I get those.
Yep.
There were the other love taps to the head that I really have a problem with. But what I also do have a problem with, it happened in the Manly game and happened in the South game, where the refs got a call from the bunker and then went back 6 tackles in the Manly game and said, here's now a penalty.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can't do that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
The bunker's taking over.
Well,
The bunker should get out and let the ref.
Well, we had 3 send-offs and 14 sin bins.
Yeah.
And of those 14 sin bins, I personally, as I was watching them all again today, think about 10 of them were legit. I don't think you can hit it, and it's as Cameron Smith. As much as I disliked him on the field because he was just not at my club,
That's good reasoning.
he came out and he said, "You've never been able to hit a bloke in the head. They've not changed the rules. They're just enforcing them."
Well, he's not the only one who said that.
And you know what?
They're doubly enforcing.
And I don't care that they've enforced it. I think that was the right thing to do.
I'm sorry. There was an incident, and I can't remember which game it was, where the guy went into a tackle. The player fell. He hit his arm. It was
That was Tedesco,
It
wasn't
was Tedesco again on his knees running into a
another
bloke.
one.
Yeah, and they both got up laughing, and
Yeah.
even Trent Robinson said that shouldn't have been a sin.
Sorry,
so
there
he knows
were
that.
so many on the weekend that were just ridiculous.
Yeah, no. And that was one that shouldn't have been a sin bin. So you
Coach even agreed.
You slip and you run into a bloke.
Yep.
That's not a sin bin. But there were some that were, and we've just got to be serious about what we're doing with the game.
Argument, but
So
let's go.
a lot of coaches had very, very different views on it.
Wayne Bennett
was
supported.
12-minute press conference, which is unusual for him.
I had to watch it just to see what he said for 12 minutes.
Trent Robinson said it was probably an overcompensation. Let's all calm down. It'll recalibrate itself, but it had to happen. And so it seems to me common sense.
But hang on. The problem I have with that is how do you recalibrate it? How do you say, okay, now we're going to do this? But okay, now that now
they'll go. Well, okay, that degree is different. And he suggested last night on 360
they could have cost some teams a win.
Yes,
but it didn't.
You're right.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, it didn't.
You may be right.
Dogs.
But he talked about grading 1, 2, and 3. Now I don't know how hard that is. I'm assuming that the refs know how to do that.
No, the refs don't. That's the review committee.
Well, maybe that needs. To happen.
Look, quite simply, we all know it. I want the NRL to keep doing it. If you hit a bloke in the head, you get 10 in the bin. Full stop.
It will sort itself out.
It won't.
They'll be able to differentiate.
The only ones that you shouldn't is when the player is falling, and was he falling? Did he hit him?
Yeah, but
No.
And a penalty will suffice.
That one?
Then a penalty will suffice.
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't put
but
them
a
on
falling
report.
player can also be a player who takes a step sideways to try and avoid a defender. The defender has no choice, but he's going to hit him because he's
that's right.
He's already set himself up.
He's already set himself
And
up.
I'm saying that should not be a sin bin.
Okay,
Yeah, so it should be
all
maybe
But
a penalty.
all the rest should.
All the love taps?
Yep.
Stick them on report and let's look at them later.
No.
No, you can't do
No.
that.
You know what?
It spoilt the weekend.
Excuse me. And it all came back to. And it all comes back to the Kafusi Ryan Matheson one.
Yeah, that's where it all started.
Because there was no on-field penalty for Melbourne when Ryan Matheson was taken out.
That's right.
Yep.
And
Okay.
you guys all argued.
So we screwed up one out of
No. We
300, 400, 500,
screwed up the
1,000
next
tackles.
time when Teddy got hit.
And with Drew Hutchinson.
And we got screwed. We got screwed up when the Cronulla bloke, who you and I both thought it was a legitimate hit. Forget Tuck. No, I can never remember these.
Tupanua.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, look, there's been a lot of mistakes made, and there's no advantage to the team that has now lost a bloke for 10 or 15 minutes in the head bin.
Yep.
I'm happy for them to go 10 in the bin.
No, it's ridiculous.
5 minutes?
2 minutes.
No.
What about 5 in the bin?
No. 10.
No.
You hit a bloke in the head, you get 10 minutes in the bin, full stop.
Is there room for a 5 minute?
This is going to come back to bite you one day
But
in a
it's-
semi-final.
Yep.
But is
You're
there
gonna
room for a
lose it
5
because
minute bin for repeated infringements?
No, and that's what
on the line.
And that's what happened to Brisbane. Brisbane had 2 players sin binned against Manly. One of them was a repeat offender, and the other one was a headbutt. And Steve's saying shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, firstly, it wasn't a headbutt. But
Well,
did you see how
he
many
led with
players...
his
It
head.
wasn't a
He led
headbutt.
with his head.
How many players this weekend, all of a sudden, every tackle...
Yeah,
they put
absolutely.
They
their
do
hand up-
that all
They're
the
milking.
time
Come on.
anyway.
Yeah, okay, but now what you're saying is, okay, if it's a love tap to the back of the head, let's send them off for 10 minutes.
No,
It's a joke. It's ridiculous. No.
You've got no idea
'cause
sometimes.
what
Okay,
happened-
we're
Far
going to call
out.
this quits because we're going well over time, and I'm right, they're wrong. Thank you for watching. This is NRL from the sidelines, and as I do every week, I'll get the last say. So enjoy the show, and we'll do it all again next week.
No, we're
Bye-bye.
going to do it the preview.